Welcome to this channel. So today there's a Wing Chun friend messages me, asked me to share on the 1850s Wing Chun sparring. So after he watched my recent video on the stance and the power from ground, so forth, he messaged me today, asked me, well, can you please share on sparring, or you don't want to talk about fighting at all? So I replied to him. I said, sparring, fighting, I already tell you all. So he said, well, are you kidding? I said, no. In this video channel, in these two books, in past 160 years, nobody tell you what it is this clear. I'm not kidding. That's why I told him. See, today, we have a really different concept compared with the ancient. We think differently, and that is the problem. If we look at General Chi Chi Guang, which is I always talk about, what sparring mean? Sparring mean in today's language on what the General Chi Chi Guang writing there, or what it is in the Restricting Wing Chun. Sparring mean verifications of one skill, to check on one skill, to verify one skill. On the other hand, to learn new things. So for example, if you have the skill already, you go do sparring, and you test out different things, and you want to see whether your handling or your view is proper or not. On another thing is, you are going to learn new things, because different friends, sparring partner, will have different characteristics, especially if they train in other martial arts. So sparring is something fun. Sparring is not something under pressure. Sparring is this, if you want to accord to General Chi Chi Guang. That is a must step for growth. Without this, one really do not have the skill, and really it's like kind of stagnated, very stuffy stuff. If you go to sparring, you think, well, I have to beat him. You keeping thinking of this beating who is better, and those kind of stuff. Those are violating General Chi Chi Guang's teaching. General Chi Chi Guang said clearly, you go down there, you test it. Since you learn the skill, you test it, whether this work or not. And of course, when you test it, you're going to find out what you don't know. You're going to learn there. And continuous learn. So people don't have pressure. If you go out sparring, you say, well, I have to defeat you. Well, now you got a problem. Because you have a wrong mental attitude already. Okay, according to General Chi Chi Guang. Okay, not according to Hendrix. I didn't fight as much as General Chi Chi Guang. Okay, and you know that he wrote that to train his army. So that's sparring. It is just a very fun stuff to find out things. Got nothing to do with like today ego, I am number one, this technique, forget about this. Okay, so it is the bottom line is this. If you want to know about sparring, I already have put it in this books, in this video, keeping talking about it, and but because most of us who live in today's world think differently, so you guys don't see it. It's not that I don't talk sparring. I already tell, you know, a lot of things on sparring. Now, if you watch my channel carefully and if you read this book carefully, you know that the bottom line of this, you have to go to sparring. If you want to go to sparring, the bottom line is you need to be able to handle your body. Okay? Only after you can handle your body, you can learn the techniques. And after you learn the techniques, then you can go verify it and learn new things. Nothing is fixed. Now, this is a serious problem. This body method is a serious problem. That's why this past few days I've been sharing the 1850 E.G. Kamyongma and the falls from ground and the horse and the waist is one, so forth, so forth. Why? If you don't have this, how are you going to operate the techniques? Like today, many people say, well, you know, in traditional Chinese martial art, I have this technique, that technique, that technique. You look at their body. Can they handle the body? They can. You can see that. So you say, well, Henrik, what do you mean? They cannot handle the body. Okay. If you watch my video last week, when I talk about General Qi Ji Guang's body method, and it's in the Shaolin Sword Strike. There are three things there, right? One is your torso, your leg, and your hand has to be in unity. The second is you have to be able to contract and expand when you play dynamically, handling your body. The third is what? Accelerations. Accelerations. Acceleration is the biggest thing. You look at people, if they do not have the body, the torso, their leg, and the arm one, they do not be able to do the contract and expand. You look at their acceleration, they cannot accelerate continuously. And accelerate continuously, you need to know the H model. Over here it said that accelerate impulse momentum handling. You need to get up to there. That's the zone 4 of your heart rate zone training. So it's here, okay? On one side, you need to know how to manipulate your body. Another side is your cardiovascular and everything. You have to develop that. So if you look at, say, let's just use the very simple thing, the vertical jump, right? You look at those pro who do what? Dunk slam, the basketball player. When they want to go the dunk slam, they have to accelerate a few times continuously, boom, 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 and then they carry the basketball up there and dump, right? That's accelerations. So as I shared the other day, if one couldn't even do a simple vertical jump, no way one can do these accelerations. And if one have no idea of this completely, they go do techniques and say, oh my God. It's like you try to slam down, you know, the basketball, jump up but you couldn't move your body. You say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. You cannot do it. Okay? So that's why past 2 days I reveal all those things scientifically and with my this Polar Vantage 2 and the test right now set it a standard. Anybody, I don't care who they are, when they do the 1850 shooting tao or the EG Kamehameha, they have to be able to handle the vertical jump and then be able to handle the power generations. The body is one unit when they jump and then when they land. So the explosive driving their body up and the when they come down, the absorption, the impact absorption, they have to have that. Without that, you can't accelerate. Don't kidding ourselves. The entire body disintegrate. You can say, well, I have this technique, that technique, I've been aggressive. Well, sure, you can be aggressive beating something up. But when you face somebody who is having training like in Thai boxing, in Western boxing, in Kyokushin, forget about it. You cannot touch them because they have the strength. Just look at it, okay? Seriously, every of a Thai boxer when they kick, isn't it? It's like every one of those is a vertical jump. Look at every leg when they kick. Same with the Kyokushin. So sometimes I ask people, I say, well, you know, you want to go sparring? In 1 minute, how many vertical jump can you do? 60? 30? Look at those Kyokushin player for the world tournament or for the tournament, open tournament. Look at the Thai boxer. How many vertical jump they have to do every minute, sorry. Have you trained that? If you don't, how is that have the stamina and so forth? That's why you look at Xi Xiaodong and Lei Lei and think how those people cannot handle him. Why? Because it's not in the reality. They thought that this technique can save them. Okay? That's the reality. If you can do, say, 60 vertical jump per minute, well, there's a different type of training. Your vascular, cardiovascular conditioning, your muscular conditioning, all sort of stuff, your acceleration, all sort of stuff there. So that's why it's so important for the 1850s Wing Chun for to test it with the vertical jump. And with the vertical jump, you can expand. Also, like I share on this 2 video on this the EG Kamehameha 1850 and the body, the horse and the waist has to be one. I mentioned about awareness. You know your body. When you do the vertical jump, for example, you know your body. You know whether you be able to drive that hard or not to the explosive when you jump high and when you come down. You know whether you be able to handle the impact or not, to absorb the impact or not, because your body can breaking apart. And because of you go through that, you know your body. You know your body. Okay? So, in the ancient, it's usually the Chinese say, oh, you have this tang game. Tang means listening. Okay? Tang means listening. Or when you're breathing, you tang in Cantonese, listening to your breathing. You know what is that breathing into this language? The listening? Listening is just aware. Okay? Aware. So if we never even ever do a vertical jump, how the world are you going to aware of your 7 balls? Not to mention the 6, 13, 3. So you might ask me, so Hendrik, where do you learn all this 6, 13, 3? Well, I go through all this thing. That's why I can formulate the 6, 13, 3. And that is the real internet. If you don't even know this, you never practice a vertical jump, which is a dynamic, and handle the explosive drive jump up, and then the absorptions of the impact, the circle. Now always is a drive and absorption, drive, absorption, and then you can recycle the momentum. Look at the Thai boxer when they do a round kick or a kyokushin. Round kick, one leg up, one leg down, and then right away. That's all those things. Always a drive, explosive drive, and always it is absorptions of impact and recycling the momentum and go. And the body is keeping moving. And it can accelerate to different things. You look at for example, in Thai boxing or in the kyokushin, when the KO, using the crescent kick or the fall kick, it's always like that. So without those type of body handling techniques, it's like I'm going to do a round kick, a roundhouse kick, but I do not know how to handle my body. I said, well, this is roundhouse kick. He kicked me, and I'm going to roundhouse kick his leg. Well, it is talking. Never been there. And only after you can handle this, you learn the techniques, and then you adapt to the techniques, and you're keeping practice the techniques. And then you can go for sparring. Without that, what are we doing here? You can see today, many people are like in the movie, you go just learn some techniques and something called internal. Have no idea of this completely. And then they say, well, I'm going to go sparring. And then start to saying, well, can your technique work under pressure? What pressure? What pressure if you train properly? Like the Western boxer, how many months they train this before they can allow to go do sparring? Same with the kyokushin. Same with the Thai boxer, how long they have to train this before they can go here? This is just reality. Like today I read another translation of General Chi Guang's classic. And this is a European translation. The author said, oh, but the Chi Guang classics or the operating manual is not as advanced like today. We have the yin and yang and philosophy. You look at that, you say, bullshit. You don't know what the heck you're talking about. General Chi Guang show you what's the real. And we can know that today. All those nonsense, this chi, those Tai Chi philosophy is nonsense, okay? They have no idea on this, and then they just put all this chi. For this thing, if I'm using the ancient terminology, I can express with you on the yin and yang. But I choose to use today's sports science to explain to you what it is. Like for example, this H model. This H model, I can say this is the yin side, this is a yang side, instead of having all this thing in sports science. But wait a minute, today is 2021. How many people know about yin and yang besides just repeating like parrots? And when you go to the West, coming to the West, to America, you're talking about this nonsense yin and yang. What does it mean? You can go to Europe, you talk about philosophy, what would that apply in the real life? So with all those guys who say about yin and yang, I say, well, can you do a vertical jump? How about 60 vertical jump per minute? Can you do that? If you cannot do that, those Thai boxer or Kyokushin, yellow belt or brown belt can do that. So all this grandmaster, can they do that? So this is the problem. When people have no idea of what is what and having their philosophy and everything, that's why the other day I said, well, what I'm talking about is not philosophy. What I'm sharing here is not like Xi Xiaodong using him as the reference of the world, okay? Or traditional Chinese martial art is bad, blah, blah, blah. Well, that is his field. I'm not into those things. Over here, I'm into, this is the evidence, this is scientific, this is what it means. It's an education, so everybody is really clear what you get into. Otherwise, you get into the false security. Are you going to believe that Tan Bong Fo or any other techniques can handle the entire sparring? Like the other day, I make an example. You can have all your techniques. If you don't have this, you cannot move. You're going to fight Mike Tyson. You look at the accelerations. Look at Mike Tyson's accelerations. Look at Muhammad Ali. When he dances around, isn't that is like a, you model it like a vertical jump. Boom, 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 boom. And you strike right away. Accelerate. So, you know, sometimes there's a lot of Chinese style is, I call it superiority complex, okay? Oh, you Westerner, you don't know, okay? You foreigner, you don't know. We have this philosophy, 5,000 years of culture, and we have this yin and yang. That's called bullshit. General Qi Ji Guang don't do that. General Qi Ji Guang, in fact, learned from the Japanese pirate. And that's why I'm writing the book, the Kung Fu Source Code now, to let you see that how things evolve. It is, even the guy who is working in Silicon Valley today will be able to relate to that. It's exactly the same with here, you know, where this product, I'm going to evolve this product based on science and so forth. That's what Qi Ji Guang do, not into the yin and yang and all this internal nonsense, okay? And if you look at this, you can understand what Xi Xiaodong do and everybody do. But you keeping using those internal blah, 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 you cannot do. So, this is sparring. Big deal. And of course, when we're here, I can learn new thing that I think that I can fight like I'm 25 years old, but I'm 60 something already. So, oh man, my stamina is no longer there, no matter what I do. I learn here. And that's reality. Okay? So it has to be like General Qi Ji Guang, pragmatic. Okay? And also, it has to be like General Yi Dayu. So, Tang Sunzhi, Yi Dayu, and Qi Ji Guang, 3 generals at that time who fight the Japanese pirate. They are actually really close and learn things from each other. Especially Tang Sunzhi is a very top guy, a genius. So, Qi Ji Guang learn things from him, Yi Dayu learn things from him. Now, today you look at like the Xi Xiaodong, go challenge all the Chinese martial and so forth, like proving he's the invincible, so forth, or everything is fake, then everybody's saying this fake. You know that's not Chinese. That's not Chinese at all. The record, you know, put it in the record. Let me share with you guys all in the West. Yi Dayu at that time, General Yi Dayu, He heard that Shaolin martial art is really good, like the playing of the pole, like our 6-point hard pole, those pole. So he went to Shaolin Temple. He went to Shaolin Temple. He said, well, I want to look at your pole techniques. It turns out that Shaolin Temple monks cannot handle him. So did he do like Xi Xiaodong? Oh, you Shaolin is nonsense. Fake. No. He brought 2 monks with him back to his army. He trained them for years. And then once they get the art, he led these 2 monks back to Shaolin and teaching the Shaolin people. Okay? That is Chinese. Chinese not going down there, you fake, you all this kind of thing. Those called bullying. Okay? So that's why I say, today Chinese is not Chinese. Yi Da Yu is a real Chinese. That is how the model. Okay? So we want to do it like this in the West. You know, I'm really disappointed with the Asia already. We want to do it in the general Qi Ji Guang way. We want to do it scientifically with this. Sparring is just this. So look at us. If we don't have this, we know we cannot do this. If we go sparring, then our mental attitude is verifications of what we learn. And then also learn what we don't know. So that way there's no ego in the way. We just testing the experiment with the technology. And also, you know, that's why I say, I share with you this Yi Da Yu records, general Yi Da Yu record is that let's not get into this lineage, your lineage, my lineage, your lineage, my lineage, I can beat your lineage, all this nonsense, okay? Those are not Chinese. We need, if we want to learn traditional Chinese martial arts, we need to be like Yi Da Yu. There's no lineage there. If you defeat somebody, you help them. You help them to be better. That's the way how to go. Okay, this is not about, again, but this is culture, what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about business, right? Today's business is, if I'm running an MMA school, I'm going to beat up the traditional Chinese martial in China, then I'll get all these people study with me. Those are not Chinese. The Chinese, like Yi Da Yu, he's a general, okay? A general, okay? A general meaning I can blow away your Shaolin temple if I want. But he didn't do that. He just go down there and say, well, I want to test this out. And then say, this is no good. This is not up to the standard. And everybody in the Shaolin temple say, okay, they agree with it. And Yi Da Yu get 2 of the monks come and say, well, I train you, and you go back train your Shaolin brothers. So that everybody become good again. That's Chinese. That's Confucians. Okay? So at 1919, at that time, the young Chinese start to get into this idiotic stuff, try to tear apart or what do you call it, destroy, saying that the Confucius teaching is no good, it's bad. So they want to get rid of it. What Yi Da Yu do is from the Confucius teaching. One always help the weak to be strong. In Chinese, it's called 积觉式. Okay, whatever, when people is already weak, you help them. You don't say, well, I beat you and then I step on you. You fake. You don't. So that's why it say that you have to let people respect you from heart. That is the real martial virtue. Okay? So this is what I like to share with you today on the sparring. And that's why my channel, I want nothing to do with the Xi Xiaodong or whatever martial art. I want to share with all of us here on what is the Chinese culture, what is the culture of Chinese martial arts.